We have some actual breaking news out of Palermo. They have started to gain access into the vessel. They only have some 12 minutes once they're down there to enter the vessel and move around in it. So there's no actual news of what's in the vessel, barring the fact that it's completely intact. And it's basically laid out on the seabed, 57 meters below.
Now, as we've been debating, the search is continuing for 6 missing people after a yacht sunk off the coast of Sicily yesterday morning. Let's speak to Alina Trabattoni, a journalist on the island of Sicily. Alina, thanks for giving us your time.
Hi, good afternoon.
Alina, what's the latest? Having looked online, the divers are having some difficulty getting into the cabins of the yacht now that is sitting at about a depth of 48 meters.
Absolutely. So they spent all day yesterday trying to get access to it. They went down. They could go round the vessel, but then didn't manage to gain access to it. And they had to call for reinforcements from Rome, from the capital Rome, where they have, advanced equipment that permits, lengthier submersion times. And we have some actual breaking news out of Palermo. They have started to gain access into the vessel. They only have some 12 minutes once they're down there to enter the vessel and move around in it. So there's no actual news of what's in the vessel, barring the fact that it's completely intact. And it's basically laid out on the seabed, 57 meters below sea level. So that's the most recent development.
Alina, is there any hope that anybody will be found alive at this point? Some people have suggested that perhaps air pockets inside the upturned vessel might have been able to sustain life. Have we heard about anything at all, any signs of life?
Well, obviously, everyone is hoping and praying that survivors can be found, both through air pockets in the vessel, but also, locals I've spoken to, especially fishermen, have pointed out that, given the state of the sea that night, it's uncanny. It's disconcerting that people would just stay in their cabin as if nothing had happened, without trying to get on deck. Of course, it's actually difficult to get on deck if the ship's being, thrown from one side to the other by very high waves. But the hope is that people were thrown overboard. And in fact, the rescue effort is not just focusing on Porticello. It's actually moving wider out, beyond that area. And one thing that does leave hope is the vessel the sailboat, the Dutch flag-bearing sailboat that actually came to the rescue, that was actually positioned very close to the super yacht, to Mike Lynch's super yacht, and that actually went out and rescued 15 people on an emergency dinghy that had, been salvaged off the super yacht. The captain said that during the course of that evening, as he was going round the boat and after he had put the 15 survivors on his boat, he kept hearing screams. So, the hope is that some people may have been thrown overboard. That's what everyone's clinging to, at least. What I can tell you is that the British ambassador has been down to Sicily. He's met with the survivors. Obviously, there are, the big concerns regarding the 6 that are missing. Mike Lynch, his 18-year-old daughter Hannah, who had just finished her A-levels and was looking forward to going to university in September. The president, the chairman of Morgan Stanley International, Bloomfield, and his wife, and also Mike Lynch's lawyer, his defendant in the fraud case that Hewlett-Packard and American prosecutors had brought against him, which I must underline he was acquitted of in June. So this was also a celebratory trip. And the British ambassador has actually confirmed that 4 British UK government inspectors have actually arrived, and they're going to be carrying out their own investigation in parallel with the one being carried out by the Italian prosecutors.
Alina, thank you so much for giving us your time, and thank you for the very latest from Sicily. Alina Trabattoni there, who is a journalist speaking to us from Sicily.
I don't absolutely know what they did. I only know that they went flat with the mast on the water and that they sank in 2 minutes, like they said. But what happened for the rest, I don't know, absolutely not. The weather report was west, northwest, and thunderstorms. And thunderstorms can turn out good or bad. And this one was a real violent squall. It's your experience, and you need to know the weather condition. You need to know your ship. You need to have an idea about your anchorage, where it's maybe safe or not. And this is kind of experience. You can learn it also, but you can't regulate everything. You can't put everything in procedures. This don't work. What I read is that there are every now and then these kind of storms here in this area, but I think it has also to do with the way too warm water temperature. The water is since weeks more than 30 degrees, which is way too hot for the Mediterranean, and this causes for sure heavy storms.